That is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Guys, please show support, like, share, subscribe. We just hit 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support. Y'all the real MVPs. Now together, please join me as we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Today's episode, you guys, I want to get right to it. First and foremost, yesterday's video, appreciate the comments, appreciate the likes. We didn't get to the 100 likes for the goal that I have for you guys to do a comment. So no comment on the, no reaction to a comment on today's episode. But in this episode, get me to 100 likes. And on the next episode, I'll do one of the shout outs in the comments. Now, I want to get right to it, you guys, because I want to talk about a report that came out. And came out yesterday. Didn't post a video on it because honestly, I wanted to get a lay of the land. I wanted to see what everybody was saying about this. This was reported by Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, who is an NBA Inside reporter. He came out with an article that basically stated that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not feeling Pat Riley. And then he wrote an article yesterday, and the article is called Miami's Giannis Wish versus the Pat Riley Wall. Why stars aren't vibing with the Godfather. Now, I will say this. Brandon Scoopy Robinson is an insider. He's a reporter. But when I read this report, you guys, I was trying to find anything in there that talked about anything that was reported by Giannis or was reported by his camp. And honestly, I didn't really see anything. None of the quotes were involving Giannis. When I read this article up and down, you guys, for those of you that hadn't read it, I'm just going to breeze through it. He's basically saying in the beginning that like I said, that Giannis really isn't feeling Pat Riley. That Pat Riley's previous situations with Jimmy Butler may cause restraint. But then after that, there's no quotes from Giannis's people. There's no indication from Giannis's people. Shams, Brian Windhorst, nobody has posted anything about this. Not even from the Heat's camp with Barry Jackson, Ira Winderman, Dan Le Batard. Nobody has said anything like this. What this report is going on is quotes from three people. Xavier McDaniel, who was a player in the New York Knicks back in the 90s, who played for Pat Riley. Gary Payton, who played for Pat Riley and was a part of the 2006 NBA championship. And Mario Chalmers, who didn't even play for Pat Riley, was here during the Big Three era. And I'm not going to go into quote about what these things said. You guys can read the article if you want, but this is basically stating things that, was a little bit of restraints from Pat Riley. The only quote that was from Mario Chalmers was one time that Pat Riley didn't let them go to Vegas. That's it. I get what this article is doing. And look, I understand what this is. And I understand the stigma of what people have relayed in the Miami Heat these last 2 years, especially with Pat Riley. I get it. I get how people are thinking that, everything blew up with Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley's washed and Pat Riley can't get a star and Pat Riley couldn't get somebody for Jimmy Butler and, it just didn't work out. And even though, yes, part of that may be a little bit true, I think Pat Riley did do his very best with Jimmy Butler here. He got Kyle Lowry, who Jimmy Butler wanted. He was reluctant giving Kyle Lowry that contract, but did it to please Jimmy Butler. It bit us in the ass. It gave us huge cap restraints, so you had to get away from that. Now, the whole Damian Lillard thing, you guys, I've said this before in the past. It takes two to tangle. Portland was not willing to negotiate with Miami. Pat Riley made an offer. Portland didn't like it, and that was it. There was no talks. Joe Cronin wasn't taking calls from Pat Riley. I talked about all that a few years ago, but that was basically the short end of it. And I know the Heat were willing to offer more. I know that there was a willingness. Pat Riley was set in his ways, but I'm sure that if they got on the horn and they talked, a deal could have been made. I talked about all this, you guys, but I know that there was willingness to be done. But Portland, Joe Cronin just didn't want to do it. Damian Lillard bit himself in the ass when he said Miami or bust. because it basically just killed the market for Portland for months. And the moment that Damian Lillard was flexible and said, send me to Milwaukee or Brooklyn, bam, they immediately went to Milwaukee. So to say that Pat Riley is washed and everything, I understand that there's some Heat fans that feel that way, but I don't believe so. I believe that Pat Riley is going to try to make this work. You saw him in the press conference. He's very sharp still. He doesn't give me the idea of somebody that's just senile and just doesn't know how to run this team anymore. That's someone that's lost in times. I don't believe so. But I will say this, you guys, going into this report, to say that Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't feeling Pat Riley, and to say that Giannis Antetokounmpo doesn't want to come to Miami because of Pat Riley, that just tells me that this report is just unbelievable clickbait, simply because there's no indication from anybody in Giannis's camp that's ever said that. So this is a story that came out, and because he's an NBA reporter, everybody is just picking at this report and believing it, which I think is ridiculous. This has no merit. And if you're going to say that stars do not want to come to Miami because of Pat Riley, I mean, what the hell? Donovan Mitchell, before he was traded to Cleveland, said he wanted two teams, New York, Miami. Didn't get his way, but Miami was a part of that list. Kevin Durant, multiple times, had interest in coming to the Miami Heat. He even requested the Miami Heat before he was traded to Phoenix. It was Phoenix or Miami. Kawhi Leonard has expressed interest. Kyrie Irving has expressed interest. James Harden has expressed interest. Damian Lillard freaking said Miami or bust during the 2023 offseason. So for people to think that the Miami Heat is a place that players don't want to go to, I don't know what you're smoking, but I definitely don't want any of that, because that makes no sense. Dwayne Wade said it a few months ago, and I'm going to quote Dwayne Wade. There isn't going to be a day that a basketball player isn't going to want to make $300 million to play in Miami. There will not be a day that you're going to raise your hand. I read that wrong. There will not be a day that you're not going to raise your hand to make $3 million and be a star of Miami. End quote. Hello. Where's Miami? Florida. No state income taxes. That's huge. Giannis's camp has recently reported that if he is traded somewhere else, he wants to go somewhere where there's no state income taxes. Texas, Florida, two main states that come up in mind. There are 5 teams, in my opinion, are going to have a huge bid for Giannis this offseason, unless there's a dark horse. But you got Dallas Mavericks because they have the number 1 pick. San Antonio Spurs having the number 2 pick. Houston Rockets having all the flexibility they have. The Miami Heat are one of those teams. And then you also have the Oklahoma City Thunder, depending on what happens in this playoffs. So in my opinion, those are 5 teams, 5 main teams that are going to have a shot to go after Giannis. The problem with the Miami Heat is not Pat Riley. We just don't have enough assets that those other teams have. Those other teams can provide better draft picks. That's pretty much the main thing. Definitely better young assets, unless the Heat are willing to give up, Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo. If you're willing to part with one of those 2 players for Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think that he can be in the running. I think if Giannis says that he wants to come to Miami specifically, and the Miami Heat are able to come up with a package of Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson for his caps, for the Caps flexibility, throw in Jaime Jaquez, throw in Khalil Ware, Nikola Jovic if you have to, maybe just 2 of them, and throw in 3 first-round draft picks, it gets it done. Or a trade surrounding around Bam Adebayo gets the deal done. I understand, guys. I love Bam Adebayo. I love Tyler Hero. But Giannis Antetokounmpo's an MVP caliber player. And for people that are thinking, oh my God, that's not going to get it done. What's Giannis going to have over here? Guys, it's Giannis. Come on. You're not going to trade both Tyler and Bam. You're going to maybe have to trade one of them. Giannis in a team with Tyler or Bam, that's a good building block. You use your $14.1 million mid-level exception to go after somebody who will be a starting caliber player. You bring back Davion Mitchell. You You can keep either Andrew Wiggins, Khalil Ware, depending what the trade is. But you're going to be able to keep players. Re-sign Alec Burks. You're going to bring back Haywood Highsmith. You're going to have Drew Smith. You're going to have a lot of flexibility next season. But if a team is yet led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's a scary team. So in closing, you guys, I am not discrediting Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. He's an NBA Inside reporter, and I have read his stuff before. But to say that superstar players do not want to go to the Miami Heat just because of Pat Riley, I don't believe it. People are forgetting what Miami Heat culture is. And you know what, guys? I get it. I get we're the butt of the jokes. I get it. The whole Jimmy Butler drama. Pat Riley not giving Jimmy his money. And when Jimmy went to Golden State, especially when Golden State was doing good, man, were we the laughingstock of the NBA? But what happened? Golden State got bounced in the second round. Golden State is now stuck with Jimmy Butler for the next 2 years, paying him $120 million. You saw the performance that Jimmy Butler made in the playoffs. When Steph was out and it was time to shine, where was playoff Jimmy? I'm not saying he doesn't have it anymore. I'm saying his style of play, you guys, at his age is going to drastically drop. And people are forgetting what this Miami Heat culture is all about. Let's not forget in 2023, we went to the NBA Finals with 2 players starting who were undrafted players in your backcourt. This Miami Heat team organization has taken undrafted two-way players and have turned them into quality role players. Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, and Caleb Martin in that 2023 playoff run. For God's sakes, Caleb Martin was almost the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And going back, Keith Askins, Vashawn Leonard, Udonis Haslem, Isaac Austin. This is what this Miami Heat team does. We find gems in turds. So if you trade for a Giannis Antetokounmpo and have to give up Bam Adebayo or Tyler Hero, I know we're fine. I know we're good. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you believe this report? Do you really think that Pat Riley's the reason why superstars don't come here? Or do you think like me, this report and this belief is utter bullshit? My opinion. Sorry for the language, but I feel very heavily about this. I see a lot of people biting on this crap and thinking that this is real. Saying that, oh my God, Pat Riley's the reason why people ain't gonna... No. They're not playing for Pat. They're playing for Spo. Spo's the coach. They're never gonna see Pat. They'll maybe see Pat a few times a year. It's not a big deal. Spo's the coach. Players love Spo. Players respect Spo. I don't believe this, guys. So Heat Nation, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We pushing to 7,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said.